My name is Judith Langer. I'm a professor of education at the University at Albany, and I'm also the director of the National Research Center on English Learning and Achievement. For many years, I've been studying literature. I thought that if I could understand the kinds of things that lead to good and deep reading of literature, then I would be able to do research that helped me understand the best ways in which we could teach students to be the very best comprehenders of literature.
Dr. Langer observed that when they engage with literature, effective readers create a dynamic set of connections, ideas, hunches, and questions. It's a process she calls envisionment building. She then worked with teachers to develop principles that would encourage this process in their students. In this series, we'll visit classrooms from Massachusetts to Hawaii that put those principles into action. We'll see how by encouraging envisionment building, teachers can help students become true literary thinkers.
Clear your desks off, get your book club things and your pencils, come sit on the carpet, okay? But clear your desks off.
The envisionment building classroom looks and feels like a community of learners.
Okay, we're going to have our discussion. And I think I told you this morning we're going to start with two groups, the Great Gilly Hopkins and Maniac McGee.
So, what did you think about it? I thought it was good because Maniac, you know how he went around like living with different people? He didn't care if his who he lived with was black or white.
Yeah.
All he wanted was some love.
Yeah. Students have opportunities to give voice to their ideas, to see where their ideas are going, to listen to each other, to let their ideas grow.
There's a lot of prejudice in this book. I mean, all that's different is just their skin color. It doesn't mean, like, inside that they're bad.
Yeah. They're all the same. I mean, they're all people.
Trust is at the center of the envisionment building classroom. Students trust their teachers to give them room to develop their own understandings.
I want you to talk about some of the connections, predictions, and questions you had.
They trust their teachers to give them opportunities to speak their minds and to work their ideas through.
I'm reading this book called Cold and Hot Winter, and it's about these two best friends, and they had this best friend named Avenue when she was coming to visit them, and then they was all excited, and it was Christmas Eve. They couldn't wait to see her, and they had to show her some things they got for Christmas. When my cousin was coming to visit me, and I was excited to show him my stuff too when he came.
Just like
the kids in this book.
In envisionment building classrooms, students' ideas are right in the center of the discussion. So the role of the teacher is to help the students find new and more complex ways to grapple with both the content and the ways of thinking about the content.
We'll be doing two literature groups at the same time. A first group will be the breadwinner. I believe the second group is Dangerous Skies. Okay, so let's take a couple steps back and think, all right, if you're composing this book, right, why is that scene important? Why is that scene even placed in there? What does that push us as a reader?
It shows Paul's love.
But what does it tell us about Paul?
Oh, it tells him that he loves Sean.
He loves Sean.
Oh,
He loves Sean more than just about anything else in the world.
And he had said, if our dad's gonna kill Sean, then he'll have to come through me first. And then he says, and
It
said, we
shows
knew
how
what he mean.
it showed how Paul could protect Sean.
He could protect him. Julian, so if you're Sean and you've just seen this scene, what is it, or as a reader, what does it secure for you? You're seeing this whole story all through Sean's eyes, right? Mm-hmm. So this fight has just occurred. What does it do for Sean seeing this out of his brother?
It shows him that his brother cares about him, his brother Paul, and he doesn't want him to get hurt at all.
Students learn literary concepts and they learn reading skills and strategies continually in envisionment building classrooms.
I'd like everyone to read the first stanza with me. My hands, my dark hands, break through the wall. Find my dream. Help me to shatter this darkness, to smash this night, to break this shadow into 1,000 lights of sun, into 1,000 whirling dreams of sun.
It's through the students' own grappling with their ideas that we start learning how those devices work.
I think like it was like a white person that was trying to trap him, something. Like it was a wall going up and he was trying to climb it, trying to jump over it before it got to the top.
I don't think it even was a wall. I think it was like something that was going on.
Stopping him. Like white people trying to stop him.
No.
Figure of speech.
Figure of speech, you mean?
In more traditional classrooms, literary concepts are taught out of context, as if they are some sort of rules that are far from the reader's own experiences that need to be understood. There are 4 principles that are at the heart of every single envisionment building classroom. First, students are treated as if they are lifelong envisionment builders, as if throughout their entire lives they've had enough experiences to build envisionments that they have something to bring to the text when they actually read it.
I have a little passage from one of the books from one of the groups, and it is A Family Apart. At the corner of the hall, Ma paused, glancing back for just a second before she disappeared from sight. "Don't leave us, Ma," Frances whispered. "I want to stay with you. I don't want any part of life in the West." Now we're going to talk
Students are treated as if they have some knowledge that will help them get into the text and start creating questions and hunches and so on.
I think that Frances, she was kind of mad at her mother because she wanted her to keep on trying no matter what. And in some way she was mad at her mother for giving them away. But she still wanted to be with her mother. She just didn't understand.
So do you think it was okay for Frances to be mad at Mom?
I mean, I really don't know because some kids, we don't understand, so we have a right to be mad sometimes and then we don't.
Okay. So when you say kids don't understand, what is it that they might not understand?
That she just had to give them up.
Okay. With that in mind, the student's background knowledge is a place to begin instruction.
Okay, class. This morning we're moving on with literature study groups, and today the 2 groups that meet are
Just Juice and Sounder.
Just Juice and Sounder.
Another hallmark of the envisionment building classroom is that questions are considered to be an integral part of the meaning-making experience.
I wonder how old the boy is and how old his brothers and sisters are.
Anybody have an idea on that?
It's assumed that questions are really important to ask in order to further develop your understanding.
I wonder if Sandra is going to die.
That's the big question right now. What kind of shape he's in and what's going to happen, in terms of, do you think he'll get out? Do you think you'll be able to find him again? What, Cody?
I think he might get out sometime. I think he might get out sometime.
Yeah, I hope so. I hope that jail situation isn't too tough on him.
So questions are at the heart of the literary experience. In envisionment building classrooms, everyone expects that multiple perspectives are useful. You want to take the points of view of other characters in a piece.
And I want to start by going back to a quote from the chapter before this one, where she says, Ana Rosa says, "What I didn't know was that my own future was galloping toward me like a riderless horse, and with it were a lot of questions that only I could answer."
We want to hear other people's points of view.
I'm wondering what you're thinking. Mariah?
I think that, since she found her real dad and who he is, she's gonna like live with him, and maybe her mom's gonna let them have a few days with him because she haven't seen him since she was born. The man who she's living with now, now she doesn't know if he's a stranger or if he's her real dad or anything. Or he's just a man to her now, unless she knows that that's not her dad.
I wonder if Sterling is used to staying home by himself because his mom died, his dad's on a business trip, both of his sisters are already grown up, and all he has is Rascal. And
You never come into the classroom with ideas that are the same when you leave. You expect them to change and grow throughout.
Well, this is sort of like a mystery to me, because there are a lot of things. There are a lot of things to ask about. That, like, why did Sterling choose to keep all those animals, and why did he teach them how to do stuff and how to eat stuff and ask for something in different ways? He's sort of like talented, a talented guy.
I don't know. Maybe his dad lets him keep all those animals because maybe he's not usually home and he doesn't have to handle all of that stuff since he's basically on business trips.
Well, I think they could raise money like that. They could raise money to live on, 'cause like they could. Sterling is a great teacher of animals. He could probably teach them to do like a little performance show. And then they could raise money for people next to them who are like poor and stuff. They could have done that in this book, and they could have had money to live on.
In an envisionment building classroom, students learn how to use the text as a way to enlarge their own meanings, their own understandings of it.